I've taken the electrics off of it, as well as the compound rest. Just comes off with two 11/16 nuts. Taking the motor off, and I scraped away a little paint. The blue paint wasn't put on very well, so it scrapes off pretty easy, which is good news. The bad news is the green that's underneath is on there pretty good, and it is hideous. So I'll have to find some way of taking it down. I may not strip it because there is some filler in the casting to smooth it out, and I don't want to remove that, so I may sand it down so that it has some teeth, and then I'll just paint over top of it. We will see. Anyways, this is just a step-by-step. The first steps were take the motor off and take as much off as I can. I also took the shelves out. Here they are right here. They're pretty ugly. That is representative of the way the lathe was when I first got it. It's just a layer of dust impregnated with oil, I suppose. Lord knows how old it is. Well, there it is. I've taken it down. Everything's stripped off. I guess my next step will be to disconnect it from the cabinet base. Take the tray out. Fix the tray. Put the tray back in so that I can scrape down the bed, wash it down for painting. Now, a little unsure as to the sequence for that. Maybe I'll just do it the other way around. I don't know. No surprises except for one. As you can see, bed's in good shape, just a little dirty, and it's not the worst I've seen. The only surprise I had was there's supposed to be a shear pin in here made out of brass, and they had replaced it with a steel one. Probably a nail or something like that. But the good news is, after replacing it, they didn't hit anything, so it wasn't twisted or anything like that, and I was able to get it out without too much difficulty. This is pretty heavy, but it is liftable. I figure it's probably 140, 150 pounds. So we'll see how much that weighs. It's probably going to be too much for me to lift by myself. Unless I come up with something and just lift one end at a time. We'll see. This is still bugging me. So I'm going to devise a way of straightening that back up. Probably I'll pinch two pieces of bar steel in between some vice grips or something, maybe with longer handles. Bend it back up into shape. Pound out that little crease there. Weld it. It's lots of fun. This is going to be a good lathe when it's done. I'm pretty happy with everything I see so far. No bad surprises, except for that shear pin, and that wasn't so bad. All remains now is to clean it and paint it and put it back together. And of course, you know, the odd oil cap needs to be replaced, and the knobs need to be replaced on it. Just little cosmetic things, really. I welded the, I bent the flap back. I used a torch on it, soften it up because it's quite thick. So I bent it back as best I could, and I pounded it with body hammers, and then I welded the cuts back together, and it's relatively straight. Next I'll grind it down and get it ready for painting, I guess. I've also taken the lathe bed off of the off the cabinet and scraped some of the paint off. So anyways, that's all coming together pretty good. Get the headstock off here. I'm going to try to pull this off. I'm going to see if I can't get those out, and I'll flatten that out as best I can, clean it up, and put it back on after I paint it. I think what I'll do is, instead of having these, I don't know what they're called exactly, they're kind of a spiral screw, so you sort of tap in, I'll tap them with probably a 440 if I have a tap. That's small anyways. I'll use some sort of screw, I think, to fasten the plate back down on it with. Quite happy so far. The chip pan's not going to be perfect, but it's not going to be too bad. And what I'll do is, I think I'll put a hole, probably I'm going to house the flood coolant pump and tank inside the cabinet somewhere, so it'll come up through there, I think. And actually, while I get the welder out, I should see if I got any holes. I got one hole here. I don't know what was the deal with that. Looks like a rivet of some sort. So maybe I'll stitch that up. Here's the lathe all taken apart and painted. The next step will be to put it back together. I made a mobile base for it. It's all 3/16 inch tube and 1/4 inch angle iron. Took me well, probably 4 hours to actually buy it, cut it up, drill some holes and paint it. It's taken considerably longer for the paint to dry, in my opinion. It's a little soft, but it's I'm going to push it anyways. I want to get this damn thing together. Here's the base. It turned out quite nice. This is it before being reassembled. Here's all the bits. The saddle, the apron's down here, a bunch of other bits are down here. They all go back together. But these are the main parts. Headstock. Hopefully I won't, yeah, it's dry. Hopefully I'll be able to put it together and not pinch any fingers or hurt anything while I'm doing it. Enough chit chat, let's get at it. Okay, here's a little update. I got the base on the mobile, and sorry, the cabinet on the mobile base, and I've got the bed and the tray on it, fastened down with some stainless steel hardware, and I'm getting ready to start putting the rest of it on.